Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wala aqibatul muttaqeen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen, wa ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een ila yawmiddin. Amma ba'd, qala Allahu tabarak wa ta'ala fil Quran al-Majid wal Furqan al-Hamid, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب والغارمين وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل فريضة من الله والله عليم حكيم. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله الكريم. أما بعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد في شان حبيبه إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Those who were not present last Jummah, we started our series which I do every year before Ramadan. 5 subjects: Zakat, Fitrana, Ramadan, then I talk about Taraweeh, then Itikaf. Just Masail, just the question answer, that's all we do. So we've done about 10 Masail and I've got about 30 more left. So inshallah we'll go through Zakat. Actually, let me just tell you, we are starting a program in this masjid inshallah in Easter holidays. 10 days program, Monday to Friday, 3rd to 7th, and then 10th to 14th, again Monday to Friday. That program will be about these 5 subjects. Here, of course, you cannot come to me and ask me questions right now, but that program will be a daytime 2:30 till 4 o'clock. You can come and you can ask questions as well, inshallah. So, next mas'ala we are going to talk about is 1 year has to be passed on your savings, then zakat will wajib upon you. So, 1st of Muharram, let's say 1st of Muharram, money came in your account, £350, because £345, £350, you can get 52.5 tola chandi, which is 612.36 gram. If that much silver is in your account, or gold, which is 87.48 grams, 7.5 tola, or cash, or any business goods which are worth up to 345.50 pound in your account, and 1 year is passed, then zakat will become wajib upon you. So 1 year has to be passed. Let's say you had 350 pound or 100 pound, or 1000 pound, and before year is passed and money is gone, spent, zakat is not wajib upon you. Next one, it does not affect zakat if in the middle of the zakat year wealth was increasing or decreasing, as long as the zakat year, the start of the zakat year and at the end of the zakat year money is complete. What does that mean? It means at the start of the year 350 pound, 400 pound, 1000 pound of gold, whatever you have in your possession, it came, and now in between the 1000 pound went to 700, then 800, then 900, then 50,000, then came down to 500, as long as it stayed above the nisab. Nisab is set limit, which is 345 to 350 pound. As long as it stayed up, no matter if it was increasing or decreasing, now at the end of the year you have to see how much money is in your account. Zakat is paid when you see at the end of the year how much money left in your account. Now let's say we're 1000 pound at the start of the year, in between 700, 800, 400, end of the year you got 20,000, you have to pay on all the 20,000. Or let's say you left with 400, you have to pay on 400 pound, as long as end of the year and start of the year amount is there. In between increasing, decreasing, make no difference. For zakat to become obligatory, for zakat to become further, you have to be an adult, you have to be a sane Muslim. So zakat is not first upon children who have not hit the age of puberty, who are not adult. Insane person who's mentally challenged, zakat is not further upon you, depending on how much he's mentally challenged. If you understand everything, but when it comes to zakat, he says, no, Imam Sahib, I don't understand. But he knows how to use iPhone. He knows how to open all the apps. He knows everything. But when it comes to zakat, Imam Sahib, siddhi gal hai, dimag hi kaam nahi karta. Then, of course, zakat is further upon you. And plus, zakat is further upon Muslims. These are 3 conditions. You have to be adult, sane, and Muslim. Basically, zakat is not obligatory upon children. So if your children have anything in their possession, and if they are not adult, zakat is not further upon them. You got children, let's say girls. Some people, they start making jahez for them for their wedding. and they got sona, gold in their possession, like 10 tole, 20 tole, 50 tole, zakat is not further upon them, because that's there. They have not become adult. And if someone say no, zakat is further upon them, then namaz is further upon them as well then. What would you talk about zakat then? When you're not saying anything about the namaz. Namaz becomes first when everything becomes first when you become adult. That's why we call you become mukallif. Taklif uthane wala. Mukallif, then everything becomes further upon you. Next, for zakat to become obligatory, you must have a set amount. Limit of set amount is nisab. It's called nisab. Set amount, limit of wealth. If it is less than nisab, then zakat is not obligatory upon you. So I told you last week, for gold, you have to have 7.5 tola. For silver, you have to have 52.5 tola. For cash, you have to have that much cash so you can buy 52.5 tola chandi, silver, which is, I told you, 345 to 350 pounds. Business goods, you're doing Amazon business or something, say selling console or any shop, and in warehouse you have more than 350 pound goods there, and 1 year is passed, now zakat will become wajib upon you. If it's less than this nisab, then zakat is not wajib upon you. Now what is the rule now? Let's say you have a little bit gold, you have a little bit chandi, you have a little bit cash, just a little bit of your business goods. No. Combine all of those four things, these four things. If they go above 350 pound, still zakat is wajib upon you. You have to combine all those things. For zakat to become farz, wealth must be in person's ownership and possession completely. So wealth has to be in your possession, in your ownership. Just the ownership is not enough. It has to be in your possession as well, right? Let's say you wanted to save yourself from tax, or I don't know what people do all that, and you put something like cash in your wife's account. Now it's wife's account, but cash is actually yours. It is your wife's account, and all the side signature, everything, she can take it out, but you cannot use without your permission. That means he has to give her permission to use the cash. It's his cash. So who's going to pay zakat? Man has to pay zakat because it is in his possession. So if something is in your possession, you are the Malik. Malik, the owner, is the one who is going to give order to change this to this, this to this. That's the reason a lot of masail happen in inheritance. Abbaji says, this house is yours right now in my life, but you cannot change the color, you cannot rebuild or anything. But house is actually yours. Paper means nothing. In Sharia, papers means nothing. Papers are only there for our, let's say, for record or something. Everything is zuban, and the person who's a real owner, he's to giving all the orders. So that's the reason the one who has the possession over the thing, जिसका कब्जा हो, चीज उसकी मानी जाती है. जिसका कब्जा ना हो, उसकी चीज नहीं मानी जाती है. So money has to be in ownership and in possession. Let me give you some example. You lend money to someone, you gave money to someone, but now that person denies. He says, you never gave me anything. So the money stayed with him. He's not giving you, you got no proof, you got no witnesses. You gave money, let's say, to your brother, 1,000 pound. Now the 1,000 pound is yours. You have to pay zakat on it. It's you are the owner. But your brother says, I'm not going to give you money back. That's mine now. Okay, you have no proof. Now you don't have to pay zakat for that money. You don't have to pay zakat for that money. After 5 years, he says, okay, that's fine, I'll give you back. I'll give you back. Now as soon money comes in your possession, now you have to pay zakat for that year, not the previous years. Why? Because he was rejecting to give you. Basically, that wasn't your money at all anyway. You was the owner, but he was saying, I don't want to give you money back. That happened to one of my friends. He sent 8 lakh rupees back in Pakistan to his friend, and then he was paying zakat on it, until the guy is saying, I will give you back. I will give you back. You're still the owner. You have to pay zakat. But when he started saying, I'm not going to give you back, so he found me. I said, now you don't have to pay zakat on it. Why? Because it's not your money. It's never going to come to you. Who has to pay? That guy has to pay, because who mixed all that money, who included all that money in his business or in his cash. Now he has to pay zakat because that's his money now. You had wealth in your possession, enough wealth, gold, silver, everything, for 5 years, but you never paid zakat for 5 years. Of course, zakat is still further upon you, you have to pay. But something happened, it got lost, or something happened, burned, or anything. It's not in your possession anymore. Somehow it's gone. now the farziyat has come off from your head. You don't have to pay zakat for the last 5 years because everything is gone. So once जब माल हलाक हो जाए तो अब उस पे आपने ज़कात नहीं देनी है. पूरा हलाक हो गया, चोरी हो गया, अब उस पे ज़कात नहीं आएगी. Now you lend money to, this is very important, especially those people who do committee. You lend money to someone and he does accept it, that yes, you did give me money and I will give you back. Like committee people, when you give them money or you lend money to someone, your friend or someone, and they do say yes, we will give you back, right? So they are keeping your money for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year. Zakat, paying zakat is not farz upon you at the moment, but zakat will become wajib for every year. If you want to, you can pay, but if you don't want to, you don't have to pay. Once you receive the money, now you have to pay all the last 4 years. Let's say you're giving committee. First month, 400 pounds saved there. So year of zakat has started because 400 pounds is saved there. Yours money is saved there now. 400 pounds there. Now year of zakat started, but you got your committee back after 2 years. Now this whole year, next year, all 2 years you have to pay because the guy is accepting, I will give you back. So as long as the one who took money, he's accepting, I will give you money back, you will have to pay zakat of all that money and all those years has been passed. Zakat is not obligatory upon the one who has taken money as a loan. So loan, when you've taken loan, it's loan, it's not your money. If I ask you who's the owner of this money, you will say I'm not the owner of this money, he's the owner. So whoever the owner is, he has to pay the zakat. So if you took money as a loan, you don't have to pay zakat. It's the person who gave you money, he has to pay zakat. Your brother gave you money, he has to pay zakat on it. And I gave you both situations. If you say I'm never going to give you back, now zakat will be upon you. And if you say yes, I will give you back, give me some time, I can't give you back right now. Now, of course, zakat will become wajib upon him every year, not you. There are two kinds of loans. One is contracted loan, one is non-contracted loan. In Arabic, it's called mi'adi wa ghayre mi'adi. Contracted, non-contracted loan. So people, they phone us, they say, I've got mortgage, I bought a car, and I'm paying monthly installments. So do I have to deduct all that money? Let's say I bought a car for 30,000 pounds and I paid them 400 pounds. What about the rest of the 29,600 pounds? Do I have to deduct all that from this zakat money? And what about the house mortgage? It is a contracted loan. No one's going to come after you. Contracted loan can never be deducted. You bought phone, or with some business, building society, something like you contracted the sign. This is where you don't deduct that money. House mortgage or phone or iPad, laptop, whatever you bought from a company, you are not going to deduct that money from your zakat money. One is non-contracted loan. Non-contracted loan is the one you got it from some individual, from your dad, from your mom, from your khala. Even though they contracted, they signed it as well. Sharia said if they come tomorrow, you have to give them back. That happened to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you have to give him back. Somehow you have to give him back. So whenever you do hisab, when you calculate your zakat money, deduct this much. Let's say you owe money to your brother, 1,000 pounds. Your zakat is like 3,000 pounds. You deduct the 1,000 pounds from that, because he can come tomorrow. Even though he's not going to come, but still you have to deduct that. So non-contracted and contracted loan, you have to be very careful in that. Let's say you got 1,500 pounds saving, but 1,300 pounds you owe someone, non-contracted loan. You left with 200 pounds. Zakat is not further upon you. Zakat is not further upon diamonds. Okay, zakat is not further upon diamonds. It's only gold, silver, cash and business goods. Yes, if you bought diamonds to sell as for business, then zakat will become further upon you. A person whose zakat year has started, then in the middle of the year or one day before the year finishes, more money came. He has to start a new year on that money, or the same year will continue on that money as well. So if you got cash, 1,000 pounds, first of Muharram, and now you have to pay zakat on next first of Muharram. But just one day before year finishes, one day before the zakat year finishes, you got 20,000 pounds more. Now you have to pay zakat on all the 21,000 pounds. It's not like you're going to say, no, Imam Sahib, I got 20,000 pounds, I have to start new year. No. As I said to you before, money increases or decreases in middle of the year. You have to see end of the year. How much is in your account? I've got 21,000 pounds. I'll pay on 21,000 pounds. Okay, so as long as kind is same, you got 10 tole gold. Just one day before, 20 tole more came. You have to pay on all 30 tola gold. It is a condition to make intention of zakat before giving away the zakat money to a poor person or before separating it to another account. So you are giving money to, let's say, a poor person came and you gave him money. You have to have intention of zakat, that I'm giving him zakat money. If you don't make no intention, and after that the guy gone, and after 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, you thought, you know what, the money I gave him as a nafli sadaqah, can I change my intention? You can't change your intention. Money is gone, now you have to pay zakat. So intention is a condition before you're giving money or before you separating it. Like business people, they give zakat in millions. So they have a separate account. They normally call it Z account. They're separating account. As long as you're separating it from your account to the Z account, zakat account, now anyone who's paying that without any intention, your intention was to separating it with zakat, that's it, your zakat will be paid. Now there are few conditions though. Let's say a fakir came, or you paid money to masjid people, or someone as a nafli sadaqah. A guy came, he asked for money and you gave him, and after you thought, I had to pay zakat. As long as money is in his possession, the poor person, and you saw him leaving and money is in his possession, you can quickly change your intention because money is still in his possession. Okay, so if you give money to masjid people as a nafli sadaqah and you went home, and then after that you thought, oh, I need to pay zakat, phone them, tell them, look, I want to change my intention. Is zakat money, please give it to poor person. As I mentioned last time, zakat money cannot be used in masjid, milad mahfil, 11 sharifs, anything, peer sahab, darbar sahab, anything. All haram. Nafli sadaqah can be spent anywhere. Wajibi sadaqah cannot be spent anywhere other than poor person. Has to go in the possession of poor person. In our joint family, what we do, we just pay zakat of everyone's. Like I'm paying chacha zakat, mamid ki zakat, wife, this one's zakat. Remember, whenever you want to pay some adult's zakat, someone who's adult, you want to pay his zakat, you have to take his permission. If you go and pay his zakat and he doesn't even know, zakat is not fulfilled, it's not paid. That's gone as a nafli sadaqah. Yes, husband is paying wife zakat and wife already know that, yes, he always pays my zakat. So that's fine, that's okay. You can pay your wife's zakat, and your dad is living with you and he knows you are the one who's going to pay zakat. They already, of course, giving them ijazah, giving you ijazah. But if they're living separately, you living separately, they don't even know you pay our zakat and you go and pay their zakat, zakat won't be accepted. You have to go take the permission and then you go and give zakat, then zakat will be paid. When you give zakat, you don't have to mention that this is zakat money. Because some people, they don't take zakat money. Safed poch log hote hain na, you don't give them as a zakat money. Let's say your brother is poor, your sister-in-law is poor, you want to help them. Like I mentioned last time, COVID hit really bad. Let's say their fridge is not working, washing machine is gone, they don't have money. You want to pay zakat, go buy washing machine and deliver it to their house. You have intention of zakat, but say, chalo theek hai, you want your machine, that you go out giving your machine as a gift. Chalo theek hai, this is the gift. This is something, anything you can say, Eid gift, anything. You don't have to mention that this is zakat money. You don't have to mention. And your zakat, as long as you got intention that this is zakat money, that's fine. You want to give sadaqat and zakat and anything, start from your immediate family. Immediate family who can take zakat. Who cannot take zakat, inshallah we'll mention those old people as well who cannot take zakat. Your brothers, sisters, look at them first. What we do, is Syria ke pe hone lage, utte zakat pejo. Yeah, what happened in your family? Go and give it to them first. Many people are sending Syria. Many people are sending Turkey. Whole world is sending there. You look at your brothers, your sisters, Rasulullah. Start from there, from your around your circle area, which is closer to you. Your brothers, sisters, and your uncles. Look at them, nephews, nieces. Start from them, and then after that you can go out to your neighbors. Zakat can be paid before the zakat year finishes. That's another thing. Zakat can be paid before zakat year finishes. Let's say your zakat year started, but after 3 days, 4 days, you realize it's so much money. End of the year, I will have that money in my account. Let's start paying zakat slowly, because I won't be able to pay zakat altogether at the end of the year. Like let's say £10,000, you start paying in installments. 1 month you pay £1,000, then £1,000, then £1,000. End of the year, if money is still in your account, that much money, that zakat becomes first upon you. Then you see how much you have paid. Just deduct that from the payment, the final payment you're going to pay. So you can pay in installments, but in the middle of the year. Once a year finishes, people start giving in installments. Don't do installments now. Zakat is first upon you. Tomorrow you die, in the grave, and on the day of judgment, they're going to question you. How come you never pay zakat? Oh, I put them on installments. No installments now. Zakat was first upon you. Pay it straight away now, quickly. Yeah, that's a different thing. You don't have anything in your account. Then you can majburi, then you can do slowly. But installments only starts when your year of zakat has started. Year of zakat has never started. You don't even have money, and you're thinking maybe money is going to come in my account. Maybe my Abbaji said to me, I promise, Putra, I will give you some money. But he promised. Maybe Abbaji changed his mind. Give it to your brother, give it to your sister. Something happens. You never know. It doesn't mean that you start giving zakat right now. No, when money comes in your possession, then the year starts. Now you can slowly start paying off. And let's say end of the year you have been paying money for zakat, and you got £10,000. But before year finishes, all money gone. The zakat was never first upon you. So all that money you gave as a zakat gone as a nafli sadaqah. Next, you have been giving zakat all year. End of the year you calculate it, and you realize you have given more than what you're supposed to be paying. Your year of zakat started, and now you started paying zakat. And then end of the year you saw, okay, I was supposed to be paying £1,000 in zakat, but I paid £1,500. So where is the £500 is going to go? You can deduct that £500 from the next year's zakat. Okay, that £500 can be deducted next year. Let's say next year you're going to pay £1,000 again. You can deduct that £500 from the next year zakat. Who you can give zakat and who you cannot give zakat to. Zakat cannot be given to your usul and your furu. Usul are where you coming from. Your parents, mom and dad. Your grandparents, mom and dad side. Great-grandparents. Great-great-grandparents. All the parents. You can't pay zakat to them. Then furu', who are coming from you. Your sons and your daughters. You can't give zakat to them. Their children and their children. Great-grandchildren. You can't give to them. So it's called usul of furu', where you coming from and who's coming from you. You can't give zakat to them. Husband cannot give zakat to wife. Wife cannot give zakat to husband. वरना घर में ज़कातें चलती रही. तुम मुझे दे देना, मैं तुम्हें दे दूँगा. पैसा बाहर जाए ना, घर में घूमता रहे पैसा. So you can't give zakat. Husband cannot give zakat to wife. Wife cannot give zakat to husband, even though they are poor. Sayyid, you cannot give zakat to Sayyid family. Sayyid, those who are coming from the lineage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hashmi and all those, there's many, but those who say we are Sayyid, they cannot take zakat. You can help them with nafli sadaqat. You know, there are only 2 sadaqat wajiba, which cannot be given to anyone but to a poor person. Sadaqat wajiba, zakat, fitrana, these are the 2 sadaqat wajiba. Third one is when you make it upon yourself. What? Allah, if that happens in my life, I will pay or I will do this for you. Now you made it mannat. That has to go to a poor person as well. So, zakat, fitrana, mannat, or you broke roza, something that calls kafara, that has to go to poor person as well. So these 4 things has to go to poor person. Rest everything else is nafli sadaqah. Everything else you can give it to anyone. Sayyid, your mom, your dad, your wife, children, any masjid, anywhere you can give. Rich people called ghani. Anyone who has more than zururiyat, more than his necessities. As I mentioned last time, you have 10 cars in your possession, zakat is not wajib upon you. Because zakat is wajib upon gold, silver, cash, business goods. Now ask yourself, the 4 cars are parked in my driveway. Are they gold? No. Cash? No. Silver? No. Business goods? You bought them to sell? No. So it's not wajib upon you giving zakat on them. Like one of the taxi boys found me. I've got 100 cars in my possession. I give it on rent. I'm not selling them, I'm using them, give them on rent. I take rent. Do I have to pay zakat on those 100 taxis? I said, no, you don't. So I asked him, I said, are they gold? He said, no. Silver? I said, no. Are they cash? He said, no. Are they business goods? What is business goods? The condition of business goods is you bought something to sell, estate agents, right? Those who do the business of like car business, they buy cars not to drive, but to sell. Let's say you bought a house, you have two intentions. I will live in this house, so I'll put it on rent. If I get good price, I will sell it. Two intentions, that means it's yours. It has to be pure intention. What pure intention? I'm buying it to sell it. I'm not going to take no benefit from it. I'm not going to give it on rent. I'm not going to keep it. My family isn't going to live in it. I'm buying it to sell it. Then that is business good. So all those cars you bought and you have in your possession, zakat is not wajib upon you. But if you have 4 cars, you cannot take zakat. That will affect you from that side. It calls more than zururiyat-e-zindagi. You have one phone. Phone is zururiyat-e, necessity. You have to have phone. Laptop, if you need laptop. Not for playing PS5 or those games on it. That's not necessity. Then after that, let's say you're working and you are alim-e-deen. You got thousands and thousands of books at home. Cost you about 1,000, but you need them. You got anything. You need only one mobile. You got 3 mobiles. And you no, there's no need for that. Those 2 mobiles will stop you taking zakat though. So anything more than your necessity, your plot or your koti or your house in Pakistan, you don't have to pay zakat on it, but you can't take zakat because more than your necessity. Your one house is here. So you're living in the house. The other house is on rent or whatever it is, you cannot take zakat. So this is called rich people. Rich people, ghani, anyone who has got more than 7.5 tola gold, anyone who has got 52.5 tola chandi, anyone who has got more cash than more than 350 pounds or business goods more than 350 pounds is ghani. You can't take no zakat. And non-Muslims, you cannot give zakat to non-Muslims. Zakat can only go to Muslims. Yes, you want to help them, you help them with nafli sadaqah, as I said to you before. You want to help them buy sandwich or anything, you help them with nafli sadaqat. But zakat purely can only go to a Muslim, not non-Muslims. Now all these people who I've just mentioned, they cannot take zakat, they cannot take fitrana, they cannot take no kafara money you want to pay, and they cannot take no mannat money, as I mentioned before. Rest everything you can pay them. Next one. You want to give zakat to someone, but you don't know he or she is poor or rich. What shall I do? You know, Sharia says don't destroy their izzat-e-nafs. Don't go and start investigating. Do you have gold? Do you have silver? That dushman, Imam Sahib said 52.5 tole. Go show me. No, don't do that. Sharia says do tahari. Tahari, ask yourself. Or something like you know where he lives, his house condition, his clothes condition, his car condition. You can tell he's a poor person. If your Sharia says if you think he is poor, go and give him money. After that you found out person was rich, he had all that in possession. Sharia says that's fine, your zakat is paid. If you paid zakat without tahari, like person you don't know he is rich or is poor, you don't know, and without tahari, without thinking, you gave zakat to him. After that you found out he was a rich person, zakat's gone as a nafli sadaqah. But if you found out he was poor, then of course he's paid. So you have to do tahari, you have to do some chanbin, but then not too much, though you don't want to destroy that is the nafs. Especially when your brothers or your sisters or someone, you don't know, maybe they came to you and they're asking money, and you want to pay zakat, but they're asking for money. Lend me some money, give me some money, owe me some money, and then you give them, you're thinking, but I have to pay zakat as well, and you know her condition is a little bit down, pay as zakat. You know, my mashwara is, whenever people come to me and they say, Imam Sahib, I'm giving you money, give us nafli sadaqah. I say, why you want to give nafli sadaqah? Why did you give nafli sadaqah anyway? Whenever you give, you know, this is my advice to everyone. Whenever you give money to, not to masjid of course, to poor person, always give as a zakat. Allah ji, whatever zakat I missed in my previous life, or fitrana, or any wajibi sadaqah I missed, this is for that. So if you missed anything, it's gone. If you never miss, it's going to go for nafli sadaqah anyway. It's going to go for nafli sadaqah anyway. What is nafli sadaqah? Rasulullah is smiling to you, more means sadaqah. Whatever you are buying for your family is in the fridge. That's nafli sadaqah towards your family. Whatever you're doing for your family is nafli sadaqah. Whatever you're giving in a masjid is nafli sadaqah. What is sadaqah? Anything you spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is sadaqah. But there are two, nafli and wajibi. Wajibi is your zakat. You will be questioned on the day of judgment. How come you never paid zakat? So if whenever you give £5 to someone, £2 to someone, £3 to someone, always make niyat, this is wajibi sadaqah, this is zakat, or this is fitrana, or this is this. If you have already up to date, it's going to go to nafli sadaqah anyway. Why you want to give nafli sadaqah? So make sure you do tahari before you give. Yeah, one more very important. हम क्या करते हैं, हमने दुकान देनी हो ना 1000 पाउंड, तो हम कहते हैं जी कि 100 बी एनू दे दियो, बी एनू दे दियो, वी एनू दे दियो, वी एनू, ताकि सारी दुनिया को पता लगे कि चौधरी साहब ज़कात देने लगे हैं. When you want to give 1000 pound, you want to give 20 pound to one person, 20 to yeah, or phone back home, and you give 5000 to this area, to that person, to that person, to that. 5000 rupees, what 5000 rupees going to do to the person? Nothing. When you want to give zakat, give that much lump sum to one person which changes his life. Change someone's life. So he can change his living style. You're giving 20 pound to one person, he can't even buy one time meal with that. Why you want to give 20 pound to one person? Give him 300 pound. Give me 1000 pound. Or someone wants to start a business back home. You want to give zakat 1000 pound. Ask your friend, anyone wants to give zakat, let's get together 10,000 pounds, start his business. Your zakat is paid, the guy changes, you change the guy's life. This is how you should thinking should be. What we did, no. This is what it is and this is what it is. Me, Imam Sahib, I want to give 20 pound this. And then that person was asking, let them ask. You need to change someone's life. You need to listen to Sharia or you need to listen to the person. So give, start from your family first, and second, give that lump sum to someone so that he can change that person's life. These were the old Masail of zakat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand our deen. Jazakallahu khair. Wa ma alayna illa al-balagul mubin.